Department of Tribal. In the last few lectures, we are going to discuss about we started stability analysis. In that, I am going to discuss about that Rawls-Hurwitz criteria. Rawls-Hurwitz criteria. We started about the Rawls-Hurwitz criteria. In that, we have to know that there are three cases before going by using that Rawls-Hurwitz criteria. We have to know that about the three cases. The first case one is that if the given polynomial equation already we know that. For example, if the polynomial p of s, before going to that we have to know the rules. When we are going to apply the Rawls-Hurwitz criteria also we have to know. That is the given polynomial, the first case is there is no missing term. There is no missing term coefficient. There is no zero coefficient. For example, P of s is equal to s cube plus s square plus 2s plus 1 equal to 0. In this case, there is no zero coefficient. Okay. For example, if I am taking an P of s is equal to like this, s cube plus s plus 1 equal to 0, then what about that s square coefficient? Here the s square coefficient is missing. So in that particular case, we can't apply the Rawls-Hurwitz criteria. Even if you are applying, that will be having an unstable condition. That is the rule 1. Rule 1 is that there will be no missing term, or there is no zero coefficient. There is no zero coefficient. These are the first rule. There is no zero coefficient, and at the same time no missing term. Right. Now rule 2. Rule 2 is that same if I am taking a characteristic polynomial which is equal to s cube plus s square minus s plus 1 equal to 0. Here in this characteristic polynomial, we are having an s cube plus s square plus 2s minus 1 equal to 0. That means there is a sign change here, so that in that particular thing also we are not going to use Rawls-Hurwitz criteria. We need to check these two are the condition. The first condition is that there is no missing term, and the second condition is that s cube plus s square. That means all coefficient must be same. Either it may be all the coefficient of s power n, s power n minus 1, s power n minus 2, and so on, s power 0. All are must be negative or positive. Then only we can use that Rawls-Hurwitz criteria. That are the two rules we are having. First rule is that there is no missing term, and the second rule is that there will be there is no sign changes in the coefficients. That are the two cases, right? Now, what it is going to tell? The Rawls-Hurwitz criteria, what it is going to tell? The main objective, that means the main objective of this Rawls-Hurwitz criteria is that it is just it will just tell that whether it is stable or unstable or marginally stable. It will be going to tell whether it is unstable or marginally stable. That thing only it will be going to tell whether it is stable. That's it. Unstable, marginally stable. Only it will be going to tell. That is the thing. But the main drawback it is not going to find exact location. Not going to tell the exact location of the pole. Not going to tell about exact location. Not going to tell about exact location of poles. It will not going to tell the exact location of poles. That means we are telling that, but in the case of normal analytical method, What we are going to tell? We are going to tell these are the poles and this particular poles and these are the poles we are having. In this case, we can tell that this is an exact location, but by using a Routh-Hurwitz criteria, we are not going to tell exact location of the poles, but we can tell whether it is unstable, unstable or marginally stable. That is the thing we are going to tell, right? Here, why we are going for an Routh-Hurwitz criteria? In analytic method, we can find that location of poles very easily if it is an first and second order systems. If we are having a first and second order system, we can find the roots very easily, and we can locate the roots on the S-plane, and we can tell that whether it is unstable or unstable. But in the case of higher order system, it is very difficult. So that we are going for a simulation or some algorithms we need to going to take. In that we are going to use a Routh-Hurwitz criteria. Routh-Hurwitz criteria we can take in these two cases. It is a P of S is equal to like this. That means that there is no missing term. And the second one is that root locus must having there is no side changes. That means that all the polynomial will be having a same sign. Then only we can use it. Okay. Now there are whenever we are writing all these things. Okay. These are the conditions and rules and the main objective. Okay. Now, how we are going to tell whether the system is unstable or not, and what are the three different cases we are going to find? Cases is nothing but what are the difficulties we are facing when we are doing. Case 1. Right, already we know that the Routh-Hurwitz criteria we are having for example, S power n, S power n minus 1, S power n minus 2, and so on, S power 0. We know this thing. This is a Routh array. Here we are getting an an minus 2, an minus 4, and so on. Here also we are getting an minus 1, an minus 3, an minus 5, and so on. Here we are getting b1, b2, b3, and so on. And so on. Final one is an. This is the terms we are going to get. How we are going to find b1, b2, b3, all that values is nothing but we need to consider the above two rows. We need to consider the above two rows. For example, how we are going to calculate C1, C2, C3? Again, to find that C1, C2, C3, you need to consider the above two rows. Again, for example, you are having a D1, D2, D3. Again, you need to consider above the D1, two rows you need to consider above the D1. Whatever you want to find, you need to consider exactly above the two rows. That is here D1 you are having, you need to take C1, B1. If you want to calculate C1, you need to take B1 and an minus 1. That two rows we need to take. Okay. Now the first case is there is no sign changes in the first. If the first case is there is no row will be starting with a 0. There is no row as usual. There is no row. There is no row. There is no row which is starting with starting with 0. 0 is nothing but number. For example, here if it is going to start with 0, then we are not going to use. There is some other case. There is no row which is starting with 0. And if we are having there is no row here in this case. Is there any row is starting with 0? No row will be going to starting with 0. So in that case, how we are going to tell if there is no sign change in the first column, no sign change in the first column, no sign change in the first column, no sign change in the first column. Now you need to check here in the first column. We need to check this is our first column. We need to check if there is no sign changes in the first column. Sign changes means it is starting with plus, 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 or plus. There is no sign change in the first column, then the system is stable. Then the system is stable in the case of. Okay. In the similar thing, if there is sign changes, for example, I am taking this is negative and this is a negative. See here, minus a n minus 1 coefficient is negative and minus d1 is a negative. Now how many sign changes are there? We need to check. It is starting with plus, plus to minus 1 sign changes, minus to plus 2 sign changes, plus to plus, plus to minus 3 sign changes. 3 sign changes are there. See here, plus to minus, minus to plus, again plus to minus. 3 sign changes are there. If there is 3 sign changes, if there is sign change in the first column, the system is on. If there is sign change, in the first column, the system is unstable. If there is sign change in the first column, the system is unstable. How many sign changes are there? 3 sign changes are there. 3 sign changes are there. So 3 poles or 3 roots. 3 roots are on right half of S plane. So the system is telling that according to Routh-Hurwitz's criteria, what he is telling, first thing you need to check whether it is there is no sign changes or not. If there is no sign changes, the system is absolutely stable, that is completely stable. If there is sign changes, how many sign changes are there? 2 or 3 or 4? In this case, we are assuming that 3 sign changes are there. If there are 3 sign changes, that means how many roots will be on the left half of S plane? How many roots are on the right half of S plane? 3 roots are on the right half of S plane. If there is sign change, that means that compulsory it will be on the right half of S plane, right? If there is no sign change, definitely it is the system is unstable. This is a case 1, very simple. There is no difficulty. If there is no zero term in the row, how many rows are there? There are number of rows are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there any element is starting with 0? No. All are having fully elements. There may be a positive or negative. Whenever you are taking that consideration from the problem, you can take that. The second case is that case 2. Case 2. Now I am taking one example we can take. What is that example is we are taking some polynomial P of S is equal to S power 5 plus 2S power 4 plus 2S cube plus 4S square plus 11S plus 10 equal to 0. This is the polynomial. Now you need to check what is the first thing we need to check, whether it is any missing term. There is no missing term, and at the same time there is no negative coefficient, so that we can write Routh array. So it will be going to start from S power 5, S power 4, S cube, S square, S, and S power 0. Now what is S power 5? 1, 2, 11, S power 5, all are coefficients, S power 5, S cube and S. Next row, we need to write all even coefficients, 2, 4 and 10. 2, 4, 10. Right, now how you are going to get this element here? 2 2s are how much? 4, minus 4 right? Minus 4, that means 4 minus 4, how much we are going to get? 0. The second case is that if the first element of a concerned row is 0, again you do 2 into 11, 22 minus 10. Minus 10 means minus 12. 2 into 22 minus 10. 22 minus 10, 12 by 2. 12 by 2 means 6. We are going to get 6, right? Right. Now, what is the problem here? We are getting a 0 in the first row, right? The 0 element we are going in the first row, in the first element of a concerned row, it is a 0. So what we need to do? We need to do that you replace that 0 with a small value, very small value we are going to consider, that is an epsilon. You need to replace with an 0, you need to replace with an epsilon. Now you will do the same calculation. Again epsilon into 4 epsilon minus 12, we are going to get 4 epsilon minus 12 by epsilon. 4 epsilon minus 12 by epsilon we are going to get. It means that 4 epsilon minus 12 by epsilon we are going to get. Right? Now how you are going to find that value is nothing but you take after this value again you are going to take like this 10 into epsilon minus 0 divided by epsilon, that we are going to get 10. And next one, if you are doing the same calculation again, here 4 into epsilon all the value minus 10 into epsilon the whole divided by this thing if you are doing, then we are going to get 6 and 10. 6 and 10. Same calculation. The change is just you need to substitute. Wherever you are getting a 0, you need to get substitute epsilon and redo the calculation. Same procedure. Just you take the place of 0, you need to take epsilon and take the same calculation. Here, how you are going to get this value? This value again, how you are going to get this value is you need to substitute in the place of epsilon and you need to check. If you are substituting epsilon is 0, what is the value you are going to get? This value will be going to be minus 12 by 0. That means at minus infinity you are going to get. Here after that, after completion of this thing, you need to take epsilon tends to 0. You need to substitute that epsilon. Now what is that epsilon will become? Value will become minus infinity. Now you substitute here minus infinity. So first element is 1, 2, 0, minus infinity, 6 and 10. How many sign changes are there? Minus, that means a plus, plus 2 plus no problem, plus 2 minus, one sign changes, minus 2 plus, another sign changes, plus 2 plus, there is no sign change. That means 2 sign changes are there. 2 sign changes are there. So the system is unstable and the 2 roots will be present on the right half of S plane. That means just to concentrate, the case 2 is that whenever you are getting the first element, the remaining elements will be present. The first element of a concerned row is 0, then you need to replace that 0 with epsilon and you redo the same procedure, and after that if there is no sign change in the first column, then the system is stable. If there is sign changes in the first column, the system is unstable and the number of sign changes will be equal to the number of roots present in the right half of S plane. That is the second case. Next one, case 3. Case 3 is nothing but, what is on case 3? Right? The case 3, whenever we are doing the same thing here, then one problem suddenly occurs. That means the complete row will become 0 elements. There is one complete row will become all zeros. For example, we are going to take one example again. That is and he given that f of s is equal to s power 6 plus 3s power 5, 3s power 5 plus 4s power 4, 4s power 4 plus 6x cube plus 5s square plus 3s plus 2 plus 3s plus 2. This is the characteristic polynomial. So what we need to do? We need to write s is 5, s power 5, s power 4, s cube, s square, s power 2. Now what are the coefficient of s power 6? We need to write 1, 4, 5 and 2. And next s power 5 coefficient we need to write down 3. After that s cube coefficient 6. After that constant 3. Now we need to check what is that 3, 4 are 12. 12 minus 6. 6 divided by 3. 2 we are going to get. Similarly, what is the next element? Similarly, 3 into 5, 15. 15 minus 3, 12 by 3, 4 we are going to get. Next 3 into 2, 6. 6 minus 6 by 3 we are going to get. 6 by 3 is 2. 2, 4, 2 we are going to get. 2, 4, 2. Next what we are going to get? 2 into 6, 12. 12 minus 12, 0 we are going to get. 2 into 3, 6. 6 minus 6, 0. And again 2 into 0, 0. Also it is getting like this. Like this we are going to. This is a case 3. This case we call it as a case 3. Now what we need to do, whenever we are getting all the zeros in a complete row, above the row we need to write that auxiliary equation. What is an auxiliary equation? What is this coefficient? 2s power 4 plus 4s square plus 2 equal to 0. Why? Because 2s power 4. 2s power 4. The next even coefficient 4s square plus 2 equal to 0. Now in this equation we call it as an auxiliary equation. This equation we call it as an auxiliary equation. Apply the differential equation. Now what we are going to get? 8s cube plus 8s is equal to 0. Now what is the coefficient of in the place of this thing? What we are going to get? 8. And then what we are going to get? 8. 8s cube plus 8s square. Now again, how you for this value you need to do the same thing. 8 into 4, 32. 32 minus 8 into 4, 32 minus 8 into 2, 16 divided by 8. How much? 16 divided by 8, which is equal to, we are going to get 2. Next again 8 into 2, 16. 16 minus 16 divided by 8. 16 divided by 8, how much? 2 we are going to get. 2 we are going to get. Again you are getting the zeros here. Again what you need to do? Again you need to apply the auxiliary equation. What you are going to get? 2s square plus 2. If you are applying the differential equation, what we are going? 4s. So you need to replace with 4. Again you will do 4 into 2, 8. Sorry, for this, okay, 4 again what is this element? 4 into 2, 8. 8 minus 0 by 2. That means we are going to get 2. 2, 4, 2. Last element is 2 we are going to get. Okay. Now, the auxiliary equation we are going to write down here. The thing is you need to check again in the first column. Again, always in a Rauther-Weege, whether it is in a case 1 or case 2, whatever it may be, we are going to focus on the first column only. Right? Now you check, is there any sign changes here in the first column? No. Now we cannot say that the system is unstable. The system, whenever you are getting all the rows will be the elements in all the elements in one row, it is zeros. Then we can say that the system is marginally stable, if and only if there is no sign changes in the first column. Even you are getting an auxiliary equation, and if there is no sign changes, then only we can say that the system is having marginally stable. This type of system is, we call it as marginally stable. marginally stable, marginally stable. That is the first thing. If you are getting an auxiliary equation, if you are getting an all the rows, all the elements in a row is an a 0, then we need to conclude that whether it is an marginally stable or it is an unstable. When it will be an marginally stable, if there is an no sign changes in the first column, then only we can say that that is an marginally stable. Or if there is an sign change, then it is an automatically unstable. These are three cases we discussed. The first case is a normal case. Always we are focusing on this thing on the first column, right? If there is no sign change, we can say that the system is stable. If there is sign changes, the system is unstable. That is the case, first case. Case 2 means the first element in a row is 0, then you need to replace that 0 with an epsilon, and we are doing the same procedure. If you are doing the same procedure and there is no sign changes, then we can say that that is a stable system. And the third case is that we are doing the same thing here. We are writing all the things. If one complete row is 0 elements, if one complete row is 0, if one complete row is 0, then definitely we are going to write for an auxiliary equation. After that auxiliary equation, I am redoing that all the things. If after doing all the things, if there is no sign changes in the first column, then the system is marginally stable. Whenever you are having an auxiliary equation, then the system is either it may be marginally stable or unstable. In this case, this is marginally stable. It will be depends. We are getting a 2 times auxiliary equation, but most of the problems we are going to get only one auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation is nothing but the above, wherever you are getting that complete row is zeros, above to that particular row we need to write down the auxiliary equation, and then we are going to apply the differential equation, and then we are going to write that remaining values directly we are going to write, and we are doing the same thing, right? Thank you. This is Rautarbich criteria.